Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about quitting your job. I'll specifically be telling you how to know when it's time to quit your job. I'll be giving you some advice for leaving a career. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but if you're thinking about quitting your job, I'm going to talk to you about some of the reasons when it might be okay to do so, okay? Because a lot of people want to quit their job and they make a hasty decision and then they end up regretting it in the future. If you want to quit your job, these are some pieces of advice to work your way through that process towards getting to the quitting point. Just because you want to quit your job doesn't mean it's okay to do it. You got to work through the process, okay? Let's get right into the video. So basically the first thing that should lead you to know that maybe you want to quit your job, look for a new career, look for a different path, is that you truly despise going to work. Now, don't get me wrong, most people don't like going to work. Plain and simple. Most people don't go to work and like, yeah, I love work. Some people do, of course, but most people don't really enjoy going to work, okay? But if you get to the point where you truly despise going to work, where it really like ruins your entire day, that's when maybe you might want to start thinking like maybe it's time to start looking for a new job, for a new career, for a new path. So if you truly absolutely despise and hate going to work, that's when it's a key moment for you to think that maybe it might be time to move on to something different. The second thing to keep in mind and to know when it's time to quit your job is essentially when you have another form of income to cover basic expenses. You never want to quit your job and have no form of income. A lot of people will say, oh, do it because then you're pushing yourself to find something good. Yeah, sure, that's great in theory, okay? But at the end of the day, you know, your expenses and your bills, they won't wait for you to find another form of income. They won't wait for you to find another job. And you might be willing to hustle as much as possible. You might be willing to work 24 hours a day towards finding a new job, but you just might not get one. And if you have people to provide for, including yourself, you know, then that's completely out of the question. So you want to make sure you have another basic form of income to cover your basic expenses. Maybe it's consulting on the side, freelancing on the side hustle, maybe it's investments that you have on the side, whatever the case is. Some sort of side income, or maybe it's a secondary job, a part-time job that you've taken on. So make sure that you have enough extra income to cover your basic expenses. You don't have to have enough to be thriving and to be buying new cars. You just want to at least be sure that your basic expenses are covered. This is especially true if you have a spouse and kids that depend on you. Like, not even a thought to leave a job. Do not leave your job unless you have extra income to cover your basic expenses, especially if you have people that are depending on you, okay? Honestly, don't even think about it unless you have that extra income. The third thing to know that maybe it might be time is that you know what you want to do next. You never want to quit your job not knowing what you want to do next. You want to at least have a good idea, and that doesn't mean like, oh, I like hockey, so maybe I want to be a hockey player. No, that's not knowing what you want to do next. That's knowing what you like, right? I mean, you've done research on the next endeavor that you want to pursue. So maybe you've looked at the potential jobs that you might want to go after, the potential career choices, the potential schooling or education that's involved, the salary of those jobs, that's the requirements of those jobs. So like, you've done a lot of research and you know, once I quit this job, this is what these are the next steps that I'm gonna do, okay? So you wanna know what you wanna do next, okay? Even if it's quitting your job and retiring, you never wanna quit your job and then just retire and you're like, sure, I'm just gonna sit around all day. No, that's one of the worst decisions that you can make. You're better off working at a job that you don't like than retiring and sitting around all day, because at least you'll be fulfilled when you are at work, you're doing something, you're accomplishing something, okay? So at the end of the day, even if you are quitting to retire or to take, you know, like a year off of not working, you want to know what you got to do next, okay? You have to know that. The fourth thing to sort of know when it's time to quit your job is you've taken the first steps towards that next thing. Maybe you're pursuing schooling, so you've applied to the program that you want to apply to for schooling. Maybe you've applied to your job. Maybe you've created your resume to hand out for the next career choice that you're going after, okay? Whatever the case is, whatever you're doing next, you want to have taken the first steps towards that thing, okay? Lastly, number 5, the fifth thing that will allow you to know that it's time maybe to quit your job is that your family is okay with your decision, okay? So whoever depends on you and whoever you depend on, you want to know that they're okay with that decision, okay? You know, sometimes I hear stories of like, you know, like people just quit their job and then they like just go home and they tell their wife. that is a recipe for disaster. Or they go home, they tell their husband, they go home, they tell their kids. It's a recipe for disaster. You know, at the end of the day, you might be completely fed up with your job. That doesn't give you a right to put everyone else at jeopardy. What it does give you a right to do is it does give you a right to make a plan for how to get out, and then talk to your family about it, or people that depend on you, people that you depend on, talk to them about it, and then start working on that plan. I'm going to tell you the truth. Most of the time when people want to leave their job and they come to me for advice saying, I want to leave my job, I want to quit, how can I do it? I tell them it's like a 6-month to a 1-year process. Even if you despise your job, you need to, it's like it takes probably 6 months to a year to get to be completely ready to leave your job. You know, obviously you can do it sooner, but most people will take a full 6 months to get everything in order to quit that job. So don't make a hasty decision. You can, just trust me, you'll be okay. Just work out a plan and you can start executing on that plan. So that's basically it. That's how to know when it's time to quit your job. Those are 5 things that will sort of signal you to know, okay, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm ready at this point. You know, I would say everyone needs to go through those 5 steps in order to know that it's time. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.